the future that was born 100 years ago. I am the purpose that emerged with India's independence to be a force for business that makes doing good our business. Towards an independence where knowledge sets us free. To think big and achieve bigger. To take India to the world and the world to India. Creating pathways of self-reliance. To stand for progress, the planet and the people. Towards a future made perfect. And be a force creating abundance. Because independence is not a moment in history. It's a never-ending path to prosperity. Aditya Birla Group, a force for good.
Hi, I'm Meera. I work with the Central Cell Department in the Group Corporate Office.
And I'm Vignesh. I work as a fund manager in the fixed income investments team at Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC Limited.
Hi, I'm Jaimin. I work with Novel Jewels Limited in the FP&A team.
We are here today to share our experiences and reflections on the ABG FLP program by asking each other some interesting questions. Okay, let's kick things off. What made you say, this is it, I want to join the ABG FLP program?
So I had a few seniors who were part of the ABGLP program, and after my results I spoke to them and they explained to me that the ABG FLP program offers a wide range of opportunities in your role, and it also offers 1 year of stints wherein you get exposure to different functions. So that really interested me.
Yeah, so for me, honestly, it was, the program's focus on, leadership and innovation. The opportunities, like Jemin said, to work across different industries, to lead challenging projects was something that really excited me, which is why, when this opportunity came up, it was, really difficult for me to say no.
Yeah. And I think it's the same for me when you're right out of finishing CA, you're 21, 22 years old, and sometimes you're not 100% sure what you want to do. And then this is very intriguing, right? When you get to experience across 3 different organizations, 3 different industries, 3 different locations, and then that sort of helps you figure out where your interest and passion lies. So that was what most intrigued me about the FLP program.
So Meera, here's a fun one. If you could sum up the application and selection process in one word, which one would you choose and why?
One word, probably be nerve-wracking. Is that one word? A hyphenated word. I think I was quite nervous because I was hell-bent on getting into ABG because I'd heard such great things about it from my seniors that I'd spoken to. So I was quite nervous, but the process itself went very smoothly, and I had a great interaction with my panelists. We discussed a very interesting case study on the cement industry.
Yeah, so I was honestly quite excited. So I think the word for me would be exciting, right? So the group discussion stage, the interviews, the interactions with, the panel, and, which comprised of, industry leaders, it was something that, not just, from an interview standpoint, but also was a great opportunity to learn from them, right? So I, always felt at ease, and, the team made sure that, the entire process was very seamless, and, it was very comfortable throughout it. So yeah, it was a good experience overall.
Yeah, so for me, I'd actually use the word different because it was the only interview process that I was part of, which was a case study based process. I still remember my case study and the moment when I realized what company that case study was. It was the process really allowed me to showcase the critical thinking skills versus a lot of the other interview processes. So yeah, I'd use the word different.
Moving on to the program itself, what were your stints like and where did you do them?
So I had a very diverse set of stints. My first stint was with CMEX, which is the group's HR shared service center, where I built the pricing model which is still used today. My second stint was with Birla Carbon, where I worked to analyze the global intercompany loan structure and methods to simplify it. And my third stint was with the group corporate finance team, where I worked to analyze new sectors for the group to enter into and also worked on the group investor relations strategy.
Interesting. So, similar experiences, very diverse set of experiences for me as well. So my first stint was at controllership with Novelis in Atlanta. So again, a very, good exposure in terms of, working across different locations, across functional teams. I was actually involved in the pre-merger integration planning of Alaris, a deal which has now gone through. The second was with Group Corporate Finance, similar to yours. We were evaluating a multi-billion-dollar acquisition at that point, and then the entire, M&A process of, the works, modeling, meeting bankers, and so on, right? So that was again something that I really enjoyed. And then finally, the third and final stint was with health insurance in their risk management team right around when, COVID happened. So again, that was an experience that I would never forget. One day I was in Atlanta working on merger integration, and the next day I was in Mumbai working on an acquisition. So very different stints, and they were very challenging, but I kind of took them as opportunities. So I think it was a good experience.
That's amazing. So my stints were also just as diverse as you were just explaining. My first stint was with the management assurance team of Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, which gave me a great insight into how the retail value chain works, because we had to draft the SOPs and our risk control matrices for the various functions, right? So that was a great learning. My second stint was also with the group corporate finance. I just realized all three of us have done, and it's a very interesting one as well.
It is.
And my third stint was with the Ultratech's Knowledge Service Center, which was in business development. So all my three stints, one was in auditing, one was in strategy, and one was in business development. So it was completely new experience for me.
So Vignesh, what did you learn about yourself in the year one experience, both personally and professionally?
Yeah, so I think for me, the key thing that, stood out for me was, realizing how adaptable I was. 3 different projects, 4 months each across businesses. And one day you're in Atlanta working at, in controllership team, and the next day you're in Mumbai, working on an M&A project, right? And I was apprehensive as to how that would work out, but it took me a day or two with each stint, but I was able to go through the motions very quickly and realize how adaptable I was. I think that was a good learning.
I think for me it was more about learning to work with different kinds of people, because you enter your professional career and in your first year you're working with 3 different managers who mostly have like polar opposite personalities, and you're working with like different teams, multiple teams, your own team and other teams that you have to collaborate with in your projects. So you have to learn to empathize and connect with different kinds of people. I think that was my biggest learning in my first year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for me also was communicating with the leadership.
Yeah.
In this program you're exposed to senior leadership right off the bat, and as a new entrant in the corporate world, it is a learning curve on how to communicate with leadership. So for me, that was, I think, a major learning. From a hard skill point of view also, I mean, a lot of financial modeling, stuff like that, a lot of functional learnings also in the various stints, but the leadership, communicating with leadership and change management was something that, really I learned a lot from.
All right, so the next one. What support did the organization offer you during your FLP journey?
Yeah, so I think I must, admit that, the YTM, the team's support was incredible. Right from, ensuring that we had the right stints based on where our interests lied, ample learning development opportunities, opportunities to connect with industry leaders, something that I really appreciated. And, not just that, they have kind of guided us through, our journey even after year one, right? So I think that's something that was quite seamless, and something that I appreciated, because you can feel a bit lost in in such a large group. Absolutely. In terms of having dozens of businesses and hundreds of thousands of employees. But this this specialist support team that we have in terms of the YTM HR team kind of make sure that you find your way through this process.
So for me, in year one, I was part of the program during the COVID years. So for us, what used to happen is YTM used to have weekly check-in calls wherein we would have to submit our charters, and YTM would keep track whether your projects were going as per plan. Because it was a work from home stint and you had to communicate remotely, if there were any issues with your managers, YTM was always more than happy to step in and sort of smoothen the process out. There was also a lot of training, like I mentioned. We had a lot of Excel trainings, a lot of soft skills as well as hard skill trainings, which are even continuing now 3-4 years post the program also. And there's also a lot of networking that YTM facilitates, both within the ABGLP network of your own batch, but also FLPs who are more senior to you, which is obviously a very good sort of a support base to have.
So for me also, it was, I think, mostly the experience of interacting with so many senior leaders, like industry stalwarts, right? Because YTM really took the pain to organize so many meetings, catch-ups with these business leaders addressing us. So in our first year, when we had joined, our induction was spread across 2 weeks, where every day a new business leader from a different organization of the group would come and address us, introduce us to their business, explain to us what it's like. And then we often ended up doing stints in their business or in their department, and then they become like mentors to us. Until now, we stay in touch with some of them who guide us. So I think that both from YTM and from the senior leaders who really have so much experience, they sort of still come and give us their mentorship. So I think that is the kind of support that the organization offers us.
All right, so let's wrap it up with some advice for CA rankers. Looking back at yourself as a ranker applying for FLP, what is one piece of advice that you'd give your younger self? And what's one thing you'd tell today's rankers who are considering this program?
To myself, when I was joining the organization, I would probably say don't hesitate to ask questions and learn, because your first year is just for that. It's just a learning opportunity. You have to be a sponge and just every source of learning that you can get. And to the new CA rankers, I would say, you've studied really hard to earn this opportunity, so don't lose it.
Yeah, I think similar for myself, I think I would tell my younger self, be open to feedback, learn from people who have been there, done that, and, be okay with, unlearning things you have learned before, right? Be adaptable and, kind of allow yourself to, experience the program. In terms of my advice for, CA rankers who are, thinking about this program, their career opportunities, I think this program is particularly well suited for people who are not completely sure about what they want to do, right? Which is what most of us are when we are in our early 20s, right? Because if you aren't really sure about what you are, looking for, this program kind of, guides you through that process of discovering what you really want to do, right? Whether it's the diverse stints, exposure to experts, the group itself is in so many different businesses, and, you can find your calling. And of course, like you said, these people, of course, coming straight out of, their final exams have worked really hard, and, this is somewhere, where they will not go wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to look at it for them.
So for me, I'd tell my younger self to take more risks, be open to more challenging roles, because the FLP program offers you an incredible safety net in terms of all of the mentorship, the YTM team, and all of the support. So looking back at maybe opt for more challenging roles, more challenging projects. And to the CA rankers out there, I'd say that this is an incredible program for you to be in, but you have to be a self-starter. This program, if you have that initiative within you and if you have that sort of that drive, I mean, this program will give you incredible opportunities, and then it's up to you to capitalize on those.
Wow, it's been kind of amazing to think back and reflect on our journeys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing, to catch up today and, see how far we've, come along and grown along the way.
And on that note, we hope this gave you a glimpse of what makes the ABG FLP program so special.
The registration process is now open. You'll find the link in the description to make your application.
All the very best, and we hope that you're ready to take the lead with the ABGLP program, and we hope to see you soon.